Okay, Dr. Shapir, here's a question about a particular verse from the Quran. So it's verse 86 from chapter 18. So the person is saying, can you please explain this verse about the sun setting in the Murky Sea? That's just the extent of the question. So maybe you can expand on that.
Here's how I want you to learn stories. Learn to not ask too many questions. By the way,
Try, really I do, but everything ends up so hilarious. I can't help.
What is sunset?
Sunset is when the sun, that is the time the sun goes down is the time we call sunset.
Thank you for the word so sweet.
Yes.
So what is the opposite of sunset?
The opposite of sunset it's sunrise.
So what is the opposite of sunset?
I will say moon.
Hey! No.
Where does the sun set?
In the sky.
Where? In the sky? Which side?
Which side? Pluton.
What?
Pluton.
Sunrise. Rise from south to north.
Where's the south?
Here's the south. And here's the north.
What?
And here's the north.
When the statement is given in the Quran that this person found the sun, he found the sun setting in the Murky Sea. This means that it's describing it from his perspective.
So these people come and use half-suck, twisty English, and they try to, explain the Quran through their miserable ways.
What do you think?
No, I'm asking you.
So let us see together if this is really true or not. Chapter 18, verse number 83. Who is the one is talking here? It is Allah. They ask thee concerning Zulqarnain. Who is thee? That is Muhammad. The Jews are making fun of Muhammad, and they knew that this joker, who is a false prophet, he is going to come with something stupid. So they ask him, who is Zulqarnain? Muhammad could not answer them right away, and then later Jibril, as usual, come to him with the answer. So look, they ask thee concerning Zulqarnain, which means those Jews who ask him Muhammad about Zulqarnain. Say, who is the one saying say? Allah. Who is the one saying they ask thee? Allah. I will tell you something of his story. Okay, Muhammad, he have no knowledge of his own. This is Allah telling Muhammad what happened. So the whole story is reported by Allah word by word. The one who established his power in the earth is Allah. Who's saying that? Allah. And we gave him the ways and the means to all ends. Allah, he gave him the means and the way, and he gave him the knowledge too. Otherwise, how he can go there? So Allah saying here, I am the one who gave him all this knowledge. I am the one who sponsor him. I am the one who sponsor his victories. I am the one who made him do what he do. And this is mean that Allah, he chose a bisexual guy to be a prophet of God, because Alexander the Great, he was a bisexual. And by the way, according to Muslims, Zulqarnain, he got two horns because of the following.
You're gonna ask questions about Zulqarnain?
When first time he told his people to convert to Islam, they did beat him in the head, he died, and he got his first horn. Allah, he resurrected him from death, and he sent him back again to them. They beat him in his head again, and he got the second horn. And this is why he's called, according to Muslim, Zulqarnain, which means the man with the two horn. But all of us, we knew that this is a Roman style. When they go in war, they wear this hat which have two horn in their head, and this was Alexander the Great. However, it says here, until when he reach. It doesn't say until I reach. Until when he reach. Who is the one who's talking? Allah. What Allah is saying, he reached the sitting place of the sun. Let us say, for the sake of argument, Zulqarnain is a stupid idiot, he's blind. He found the sun sitting in murky water. How Allah he say until he reached the sitting place of the sun?
Because it has the person in the verse as he perceived it through his perception. Because
the one is telling us what happened is Allah. When Allah he says he found the sitting place of the sun, it's mean there is a sitting place of the sun. There is, and it's registered in front of you. until he reached the setting of the sun. And then what he found, this is the founding, he found it sitting in a spring of murky water.
Because it has the person in the verse as he perceived it through his perception.
They are trying to say, in his eye perspective, he thought it is where the sun set. But look, it says, and near it he found people. So this is a real spring of water, and near it, it is people who live there. And by the way, it says, listen carefully, it doesn't say he found it sitting in an ocean. This is very important. Have you ever heard of somebody saying spring of water for an ocean? No, right? It can't be the ocean, because it says it clearly there, a spring of murky water.
No doubt about it.
And the ocean is so big to be called a spring of murky water. And the ocean water is not murky anyway. And you will notice, the more the interpretation of the Quran is close to our time, the more they reject what the Quran is saying regarding this. They try to defend their prophet and say, oh no, it doesn't say that. We can go and read all the interpretation of all the scholars of Islam, and all of them, you will see, they don't even have an argument about it. Everybody of them agree that he found it where the sun set, with no exception. Then after Ibn Kathir, you know, Ibn Kathir is many hundreds of years after Muhammad, and he knew that this is stupid. People already knows where the sun doesn't set in the murky water. So they start saying it is how he perceived it in his eyes.
What does this mean?
Meaning it appeared to Zulkarnain.
Because the only way to go with it, either to say Allah is a stupid, or to say we have wrong interpretation. So here, if we go to the interpretation of the Muslims, this is Tafsir al-Jalalain. It says, until when he reached the setting of the sun place, where it set, he found it sitting in a muddy spring. He did not see it sitting, he found it. He found it. And here you will see, by the way, it says, as seen from the perspective of the eye, for otherwise it is far larger than the size of the world. So the Muslims, they are trying to fix this problem. There's no way it's the sun set in the murky water.
Imagine sun setting in murky water, unscientific.
We change the interpretation. You will see, the older we get in the age of the interpretation of the Quran, the more the interpretation change. This is Tafsir Ibn Abbas, the cousin of Muhammad, who lived in Muhammad time. So this guy is a first-hand witness of what happened. And even Muhammad, he is the only one who Muhammad named him as a scholar to give interpretation for the Quran. He prayed for Allah to give Ibn Abbas the knowledge so he know what the Quran is about. Ibn Abbas, he says, till he reach the setting place of the sun. And here, by the way, we ignored something important we did not mention yet, because if he thought the sun is sitting in murky water, how Allah he says until he reached the setting place of the sun? Because the one is talking is Allah now. Before he report where he found it in the murky water, he says till when he reached the setting place of the sun. This statement alone is enough to prove that Islam is false.
When he reached the place of the setting of the sun, he found it setting in a murky pond or in a murky water.
Because the setting place of the sun is everywhere. I can stay in my home and the sun will set in my home. I do not need to go anywhere.
And how can a man reach the setting of the sun? The sun doesn't set.
But the verse saying he keep going until he reached the setting place of the sun, which mean that he have to move from point A to point B, and in point B is where the sun sitting, and the one is talking is Allah. And this is before he report where he found it yet. He found the place, but he did not tell us where the place yet. After that, he says where the sun set, he found it sitting in a muddy water. Ibn Abbas, he explained more. A blackened, muddy, and stinking spring. Disgusting sun. Stinking spring. What the heck?
I want to go home. I don't want to. I want to go home.
It's also said that this is mean. It's also said, remember, It is a hot spring. You see here, none of the scholars, and those are the oldest scholars of Islam, none of them is saying he thought, he saw it, it is there, he thought it's appearing in his eyes. No, no, no. They take it as it is and they believe it. So the more the Muslim they get close to our time, the more they reject this interpretation. But this is Ibn Abbas, the cousin of Muhammad. But because this interpretation will show how stupid the one who made the Quran is and how ignorant he is, then they have to get rid of it.
So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is describing what appeared to Zulkarnain. Make him laugh, make him laugh, make him laugh.
And we showed you in the interpretation, they say that this spring was stinky and muddy. So how it became a blackened, muddy, stinking spring? It's obviously, it's a stupid statement. Now, to hit in the head and not to waste our time, if we ask the Muslims who is the best one who knows the interpretation of the Quran, who is going, guys, what do you think? Who is the one who knows the Quran meaning? Who is the best? Muhammad, right? So if Muhammad he says this is what it's meant, the Muslims have to accept it. Let us see what Muhammad he said. It's narrated by Abu Dharr. I was sitting behind the Messenger of Allah who was riding a donkey. I mean, two men in a one donkey. That's not nice. First of all, before we read this hadith, you will notice with me here, it says that this hadith is sahih. This is sahih. So don't tell me it's weak. Don't tell me need vitamin D and A and B and C and F and G and O. It doesn't work with me. And who is the one is talking? The Prophet of Allah. So don't tell me that you know the meaning of the Quran better than your Prophet, because that will be really funny. Seriously funny. I mean, disgusting funny. I was sitting behind the Messenger of Allah who was riding a donkey while the sun setting. He asked, do you know where this is set?
The sun rises from where?
From the west to the east.
Who is talking? Muhammad. For sure, Abu Dharr always have to play the like the guy who is an idiot. I know nothing, you know, like, come on, you are the Prophet. You have to give glory to Muhammad. The whole point is, Muhammad, you want to show how much knowledge he have. So I replied, Allah and his apostle know best. Wow.
Allah knows better, Allah knows better, Allah knows better. He hammered that in the first story.
The guy, he said he just give up his ignorance. I have no idea. So Muhammad, he said, it's set in a spring of warm water. Hami'ah.
He reached a place where it looks like the sun is setting. It looks like that.
Are you going to say now that your prophet was an idiot who do not know what the Quran is saying? Are you serious? It's very funny how the Muslim he tried to defend his religion.
Think about the little bit I tell you. Don't worry about anything else.
So my friends, Quran and Islam is a stupid religion made by a stupid man for the stupid one. So download the videos, share them with your friends, spread the truth, and let the truth set you free. That is the wisdom of my Lord, the Messiah, the Lord of the Lords, and the King of the Kings. By him and for him everything was created. And stupid talk is not allowed, for his wisdom always speak out. When a stupid man having a stupid prophet, a stupid God, he always do poo-poo when he talk. He cannot keep his mouth shut, and by talking he get himself busted. So thank you for Muhammad for speaking too much, saying nothing but stupidity. Christ is Lord, Islam is false. Amen to that, and see you soon again. God bless.
Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, hiding behind the tree. These little children are asking you to please come out so we can play with you. Oh, Mr. Sun, Sun, Mr. Golden Sun, please shine down on me. Shine down on me. Shine, shine, shine. Shine down on me. Shine, shine, shine. Shine down on me. Shine, shine, shine. Shine down on me. Oh, Mr. Sun, Mr. Sun, Mr. Golden Sun.